Hello, everyone. This is Kristie with AG Takes Over. Glad you're here at the end of the year. Worst case scenario, beginning of 2025, depending on when I get around to posting this. But I'm making it with just like 2 weeks exactly left in December. So I figured it's close enough for me to go ahead and do a recap. At the beginning of the year, check out the thumbnail, I recorded a video saying, here are my 2024 goals as far as doll collecting goes. And some of them were like super tangible. You either did it or you didn't kind of things. And some of them were a little bit more nebulous, but I'm going to remind you of all of them. And we're going to check in. How did I do? I think I had 8 goals. So the first one was make at least 12 crafts from other AG tubers. I did it. I made 13, I think. So I'll put them up on the screen and I will talk a little bit about how easy they were and what kind of things they were, but I'm not going to make it too long. So one, cake pops, Halloween cake pops to be specific. I was happier with the um, little mummy ones than I was the pumpkins, but my overall takeaway is I would have made them bigger. I think that they looked more like little lollipops and I wanted them a little bit bigger. But they're super cute. And if you do that tutorial, um, make plenty of them, like make them to give to doll friends or something, because it doesn't take much longer to make a bunch of them than it does to make a couple. So why not make them in bulk? All right. Number 2, green beans. These are so cute. I counted it as one tutorial, but really I have loose, uncooked green beans. And then I have cooked green beans with a little salt on the top of them, and they're cut. And then I have cooked long ones with some lemon zest on them. So really that was a 3-in-1. And the cake pops were a 2-in-1, but I'm just counting them as, cake pops 1, green beans 2. These brownies, I love these. This was a very beginner friendly kind of craft. It was, well, with the supplies that I had on hand, it was next to nothing in terms of cost. And even my 4-year-old, now 5-year-old, was able to help. So she has a couple of them that she mostly, in air quotes, made herself. Number 4, this is not in order. This is just how, when I was trying to remember them in the order that they occurred to me. These jelly rolls, I made a strawberry one and a chocolate one, and they are made from foam hair rollers. How fun is that? Again, these were easy, a little messy, but yeah, super fun. I like them. Some cleaning supplies, deviating a little bit from food stuff, and not so fun fact, I don't know where I put these. Like, I don't remember where I put them. Yeah, I'm going to come across them at some point. I think I have a few ideas where they might be, but this is one of the challenges of so much stuff in our doll collection. And then number 6 was popcorn. I made caramel corn, kettle corn, caramel corn. Ended up looking, I'm calling it kettle corn, but it ended up being a little bit darker, so it looks a little bit more like caramel corn and like movie theater butter popcorn. This was really easy. Some of you might know from viewing a previous video that I actually made some of this by myself, and then I had some friends, some doll collector friends, come over and spend the night, and they also helped me make some. Pop-Tarts, that was the very first one I made this year. I would be interested to see how these might look if I went back and did it. Oh, I just thought of no. Yeah, I just thought of another one. Hold on. Where was I? Pop-Tarts, pancakes. I made pancakes and French toast. That was in the same tutorial, but those are completely different products. So I'm counting them as 2 different things, and the approaches were different. And then poinsettias, I made a couple different sizes, and yeah, those were easy, and I made them after Christmas last year, so it was nice to be able to get to use them this year for Christmas. And trail mix, okay, I'm gonna be honest, the trail mix was my absolute favorite. Like, I am so proud of how it turned out. There were so many little pieces and it looks so good. Like I sent a picture to my older daughter and she was like, "Why are you sending me pictures of your snacks?" And I was like, "'Cause they're doll snacks." And she was completely did not realize that. I posted them, I think, on Instagram and people were like, "I thought you were just posting pictures of your food," which seemed kind of off brand. My family members, like my wife's family, came over and I was like, "I just have to show you this trail mix that I made." Like people were probably like, "What is wrong with her?" But I was so proud of them. And then Chex Mix, almost as good as the trail mix. Like, I don't know. It's a close, close call. And then some pampering goodies from another channel, a candle and some like reed diffuser, oil diffuser kind of things. And probably the least successful of it was these little star soaps that I made. I think in the tutorial they used heart soaps, but they had a heart punch, like a paper punch, and I had a star punch, so that's what I used. But that's probably the least successful, but it turned out really well, and I ended up using those to kind of fill out some things in the hotel and spa, the American Girl Hotel and Spa, because it came with so few accessories. And then the one that I was forgetting, which is number 14, were these Little Debbie's cakes. And I'm only counting it as one, but I did ones that were full and ones that were like chocolate and ones that were vanilla and ones that had a bite taken out of them. So I did do several different versions of it, but it was all from the same tutorial and mostly all the same strategies. So yeah, I am happy to do these kind of crafts because it gives me a sense of accomplishment and is a fun way to add new things to the doll. Oh no, there's one more. Oh my gosh. I kicked ass at this year, friends. Number 15. I'm not even editing this. Salad. I made salad. And there was a salad tutorial that even last year I wanted to do, but it involved artificial snow and I couldn't find it. Said make sure it's the kind that doesn't have like the sparkly, shimmery snow pieces in it. And I was like, that's all I could find was the kind that had the really shiny stuff in it. And finally, I found some that wasn't that way. And I got a bag of it and made a whole bunch of salad that looked super good. And I added some, I ordered from Etsy some little sliced tomato things and I got some plastic like shoelace or lace, not shoelace, like craft lace in orange. And you can consider that cheese or consider that little bits of carrot, whatever you want. I tried making some croutons out of styrofoam and painting them, but I didn't nail the color. So I'll probably try that again later. But yeah, the salad was amazing. How did I almost forget that? The only reason I remembered it was because I glanced over at the dollhouse and there's the salad. So hopefully that's all of them. If I remember some after the video, whatever. All right. Number 2 was make at least 4 clay foods. And we're just going to pass right over this one because obviously how I did on number 1 shows you that I knocked number 2 out of the park. The third one was reduce my annual doll budget by 20%. So I will try to keep this really brief because it's not the most interesting thing to everybody. But the way that I set my doll budget is like I say, this is what my budget is for the year out of pocket. And that means things that I buy with gift cards don't count as an expense because they didn't come out of my pocket. Um, and things that like if I sell a doll related thing, then that's income that goes back into my pocket. So let's say I bought a doll for $50, but I sold something outfit for 25. Well, then my out of pocket is 25, right? So those are 2 things to keep in mind. And then my channel is monetized. It doesn't make a crazy amount of money. So if you ever want a video of me breaking that down, totally willing to be transparent. I just don't know how interesting it is for other people. But so that stuff is I don't consider because it's not coming from my work paycheck. So I don't count that as part of my out of pocket. So that goes that's money going back into my doll budget. So I keep everything in a spreadsheet. And every expense is on a left column and every income thing is on a right column, like YouTube money or sales of doll things. And my goal is like my out of pocket needs to be under XYZ amount for the year. And for the past 3 or 4 years, it has been $1,000 for the entire year out of pocket. This year, I reduced it to 800. And I was like, yeah, well, that'll be really good just to make sure that I'm not buying as much stuff. Now, I might purchase a lot more than $800 worth of stuff, but I don't want more than 800 of my paycheck to have gone towards doll stuff. Let me tell you, I purchased a fair amount of stuff, but between things that were sold and YouTube checks that came in, my out of pocket was $1.51 for this year. So I had $798.49 left in my budget. I might change this next year to say, like, I want to not spend out of pocket. Like, I want the only money that I spend on dolls to have come from the checks that I get from doing this, which aren't a ton, and the things that we sell, which is also not a ton, which will mean that I don't buy a ton of doll stuff next year, which is fine because the collection just keeps growing and it needs to grow at a slower rate. And it has started to do so, which is good because the house doesn't keep growing right along with it. So yeah, anyway, reduced my annual doll budget by 20%, down from 1,000 to 800, and definitely met my budget. All right, number 4, organize at least 2 in-person events. This was on the heels of we knew our store was closing, and we had organized a meetup, and so that was one event. The meetup was held in January, and then we had organized a spring get together with some friends in March, and then we organized a fall Dolloween event in October. And then we also had a sleepover with some friends. So yeah, 4 events. And I had said when I set the goals that it could be like a more private thing with just a couple of friends coming over to the house, or it could be a bigger thing in a public space. So yeah, I don't think that I would raise that number just because life happens. And I think setting a goal of 2 was good. All right, the next one, this is as bad as the reduce my annual budget. Like, it requires a little explanation, and I'm sorry, but if you're watching this, it's because you're interested. Number 5 was not to raise the total doll head count by more than 4. Now, my wife and I are both collectors, and what she brings in, as long as she sticks within her budget, is her business. So I was talking about myself. I've been wanting to slow the rate of the growth of our collection a bit. So I said, I'm not going to raise the total head count by more than 4. So I got Bree and Latia and Kenzie. Latia was the only one I had contemplated at the beginning of the year, and I knew I would intentionally add, but Bree and Kenzie were kind of surprises. And then, I was up 3. And then we sold 3 jointly owned dolls. So we sold 3, but that didn't make my head count down by 3. It made my head count down by 1.5. Then we bought jointly 3 dolls. So we sold Kira, Sage, and Evie. And we brought in Moana, Truly Me 125, and the Pink Stardust doll. So that was a net 0, right? So that meant I was still up 3 dolls because we, up 3, down 1.5, up 1.5. And then we brought in one more jointly owned doll that was a CYO. And I don't even know if I have shared her introduction video yet because I don't know when I will post this. But there is a CYO that was purchased late in the year, and that was jointly. So that was an additional 0.5, which puts me at a total of 3.5. And I am not buying any additional dolls this year. So yeah, I did it. This was the big one because we bought a lot of dolls last year, and I just wanted to slow that down. Number 6 was buy more clothes from Maple Lee and Etsy. It was not by any means like a boycott American Girl, but like make sure that I'm intentionally showing a lot of love to other companies and other like small businesses. So yeah, I got some really great outfits from Maple Lee. And as far as Etsy goes, I went to some of my usual go-tos and shop from several new stores this year. So I'm just going to rattle them off, but I will also put links to all of them in the description of the video. So Fairy Tale Blessings, Autumnal Stitches, Five Hen Studios, Molly's Doll Closet, Small Batches by B, Bella Boo's Closet, Angel Marie Boutique, So Cute Forever, Delightful Ribbons, Your Dolly Superstore, Bella Diva Boutique. It's called Bella's Divas, but I think it comes up as Bella Diva Boutique 1. Silly Monkey Doll Stuff, Kids Africana, and Happy Kawaii Supplies, which is where I got the little sliced tomato things that I mentioned earlier for the salad. Not really a doll company, but it was an Etsy business that I supported in relation to the doll stuff. All right. Goals 1 through 5 were the very concrete, like you did it or you didn't. Number 6, the buy more clothes from Maple Lee and Etsy is kind of nebulous. Like I didn't track how many stores I shopped at before, and I didn't like track how much I spent at each of those stores last year, so it's hard to tell. But I did support 15, including Maple Leaf, 15 non-AG businesses for our doll stuff. Number 7 is also equally nebulous. Sell some of our doll stuff. Barely. Like, I would not classify this one as successful. We sold 6 dolls. 3 of them were never meant to be in our collection anyway, but we sold 6 dolls and some outfits and some accessories, but not much at all. On a positive note, we registered or we like purchased 2 vendor tables at the doll show that's going to take place, the American Girl doll show that's going to take place in Saline, Michigan in March. So if you are interested in getting some really good doll stuff, not just from me, but from other people too, it's an amazing doll show in Michigan. Um, if you go to the Saline Rec Center Facebook page, they will have more information about it, but it is in early March and you can start making plans to go there. So anyway, no, we did not sell very much, but I'm really, really hoping that we can sell a whole bunch while we're there and come home with like a mostly empty car. That would be great. All right, number 8, be judicious about purchasing big ticket items. I would love to tell you I kicked ass on this one. I didn't though. So we added the hotel and spa from American Girl, Lila's horse stable, the Our Generation ambulance, and the Our Generation classroom. So that was 4 big ticket items. I mean, these are big, right? Like it's not just like money, it's the space that they take up. And I did look back, we added 4 in 2023. So I didn't reduce that number by any, which I wish I had, but so the hotel and spa I am totally okay with. I knew that I wanted that. I'd been wanting it for basically since it came out, and I was just waiting for the timing to be right. Lila's horse stable, we got it ultimately, 1, because my wife wanted it, 2, because it is the visual one from the American Girl store in Columbus. So, little bit of like a piece of the store for us to have. Whether it will be in our collection permanently or not, I don't know. We're not like big horse people, and it does take up a lot of space. So, it might come down to like if our daughter's playing with it, we'll keep it, and if not, we might pass it on. I know that there are other people locally who would be happy to have a little bit of the history of that store. So the price was right, and it'll be in the collection for a little while, but might be in the collection for a good time and not a long time. We'll see. The Our Generation ambulance and the classroom were just too good a deals to pass up. I think the classroom was $7 or something crazy, and the ambulance was maybe 25, not more than 30, I don't think, and almost complete. So, yeah, those were more about giving our daughter something to play with for a while, and when she's done with them, they can move on to another family. They're not unlike, Mary Ellen's Airstream, which is going to be a permanent. As long as we are collectors, we will own that Airstream because I freaking love it. But those will be in the collection as long as it makes sense for them to be, like as long as our daughter's interested in them. All right, those are my 8. Um, I haven't given any thought to goals for next year, really. I mean, some of these I want to keep, but I haven't given any thought to things that I might want to change or add or subtract. But let me know, do you set any doll related goals? What goals would you set? Are they reasonable? Anything that you want to tell me in the comments about, goal setting related to your doll collecting. That would be lovely. And if you've been watching the channel, that I will respond to your comments because I always do. Also, I'm going to put a playlist up here. I'm going to put a playlist of, let's do, let's do the 1 item 10 looks videos because I haven't done those. I haven't done that challenge in a little while. It's been several months anyway. So let's watch some of those if you feel like binge watching. And even if you don't, if you just let it play, it does count towards watch hours, which is helpful for me. Help me stick to my doll budget by, getting me a few more pennies in terms of Google AdSense. And let me know if you have any video ideas that you'd like me to consider. I hope that you're well. I hope that you are doing some reflecting at the end of the year / beginning of the new year, and that you're taking some time to spend with your dolls and whatever else makes you happy. Take care, and I will see you very soon. Bye.